Hello, everybody. How you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is Online Marketing Moves. This is episode 13 of the hard-hitting, award-winning, universally-loved podcast. We are coming to you live from Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Say that with me again, ladies and gentlemen. Greensburg, Pennsylvania. My wife thought it would be nice if I gave a little fact about different cities and states that I'm in, but I'm in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. I got nothing for you. I got no facts. I got nothing. Pennsylvania is the Keystone State, I believe. I'm in Western Pennsylvania. That's it. That's all I got. But anyway, tomorrow we'll be coming from a better place, hopefully. Yeah, as I told you before, we cut out the location. We used to give the location where we was at and everything like that. My wife thought that would be a cool idea, and I said, I used to do that. And then she said, you should bring her back. I said, I'll bring her back, just for you, honey. I'll bring her back. But anyway, today, and before we get started, before we get too deep into it, I want to bring up something that my sister-in-law told me about. She was listening to an episode the other day, and she texted me, and I'm sure we talked about time management. We talked about, getting things done. We've talked about those things on the podcast, and she said Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law is the adage that work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. And I said, ding, 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 ding. I said, I have this problem. And it says, if I have work that has a deadline of 3 months, the work will take me 3 months to do. On the flip side, if I have a day to do something, I'll get it done in a day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very true for a lot of us. So, write that down, look that up, Parkinson's law. And remember, this is why when I write down my daily goals, or when I write stuff down, I say, you know what? Put a time limit on it. When I write down the daily goals, I try to give myself 15 to 20 minutes. I'll say, all right, I can write all this stuff down in 15 to 20 minutes. Because I remember once, when I first started doing it, I did it once, and I remember I had like 2 hours before I had to get up, actually, and start working. And then one time early on, I was sort of meandering around. I got to watching videos. I got to doing this, got to doing that. I think either my mom or my wife called. I got to doing that, and I did everything else but fill out the goals. Then, of course, the last minute, I'm like, oh, I gotta hurry up, and it's like, no, I wake up early enough, or whenever, carve out 10 minutes, 15 minutes, bang out those goals, write them down real quick, and then I can move on, So that's that. So remember that, because that is very true. When if you give yourself, if they give you it's like, I remember once me and my brother, we had me and my brother, we had a science class once. We had a science project. The guy was like, our science teacher was like, write about a famous scientist or whatever, and I'll give you some bonus points. And then he said we had like a month to do it or whatever, So I bought myself down to the library, and I did Einstein, because I like Einstein. And I went down there and did it. And I remember my brother, he was like, he waited until the month is almost out. And then he said, hey, I said, what's up? He said, you gonna do this science project for me? And I said, no. And then he said, and then of course he swung at me. Whoa. And I said, hey buddy, what's wrong with you? He said, I gotta try to do this science project before Monday. I said, and it was Sunday. The library was closed. So any information you can get, ladies and gentlemen, this is before Google, okay? Well, this is before I knew anything about Google. If Google existed, I don't think it even existed. back in the great 1993, okay? So my brother, he was all, of course, he was all annoyed, pissed off, or whatever. And he's like, "Do my project," and I was like, "Nah, I'm good." And then he swung, and I said, "Whoop," and I said, "Well, I'm gonna go watch football," because I turned mine in like Friday. I was like, "We good," but my brother, Mister Super Duper procrastination. Okay, he didn't do his, he didn't get his 50 points, and he was sort of SOL. You know what I mean? So don't give yourself, of course, time, time is important, yes and no, Some things are going to take what it takes, Some things are going to take time, but some things you have to put a time stamp on it, So that's that. So remember that little law. And shout out to my sister-in-law for sending that to me, because it definitely helps when you learn. The more you learn, the more you know, the more knowledge you get, the better off you are, okay? Now, I want to talk to you about, today we're going to discuss a little, before we go, we're going to discuss a little bit about technology and why you should, when you try to do something in the beginning stages, of course, most of the time you are going to be on an island by yourself, and it's nobody going to be. It's not going to be many people there to help you out, and so you have to. I'm going to tell you a story about not getting frustrated, learning what you need to know, and moving forward. Okay, yesterday, as I told you in this podcast, I'm going to start uploading the videos to YouTube. I said I got to make a file, and I had to figure out to take the audio recording and put them on YouTube. So yesterday, I went to this website, wave.co, and I went over there. And then of course I had to take the audio file I had from Anchor. I had to take that, upload it on this audio software that I have. So I uploaded it. At first I didn't know what I was doing, so of course it took me like an hour. And then I finally, it said I cut it down to like a minute, and so I could just see how it looks, So I cut it down to a minute because I'm gonna pay for this subscription. But before I pay for this subscription, because it says you could download daily. So, before I pay the money, I wanted to make sure that it worked. So because every morning I record the podcast. Every evening I'm going to upload the podcast on the YouTube for, like today's Thursday. So Thursday's episode on the podcast will be tomorrow's episode on YouTube. And that's how we're going to work it. So, I got to doing it, and I was like, this is, for somebody that's, I'm all right with the technical stuff, It was a lot of work. And I started to get kind of frustrated. And I said, you got to take a deep breath, think about what you're doing and keep going, And it's like, how you talk to your parents and stuff like that, and your parents or anybody that's kind of older, sometimes they like, I don't need to learn this stuff. I don't want to learn this stuff. And it's like, why not? Why not be with the times, It's like we talked about yesterday, the being a leader and going with the fluidity, I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey, I'm gonna learn how to do I'm gonna download TikTok and become a TikTok star. No, but I need to learn certain things to get the job done when it comes to uploading my content, So I got on here. I got a little frustrated. It got a little, annoying. But I went on the audio thing, did the clip. It worked. Upload the clip on the wave.co, and I had success. So today, I've overcome that hurdle. So today I will sign up for the wave.co, then we would start uploading the content every day. And I feel like this is gonna make a lot of good traction when it comes to people getting the content out to the people. But I just want to let you know, and I thought about this when I was doing it. I was like, this is kind of annoying, but this is going to be a podcast. So I'm just here to tell you that even though, like, of course, as you well know, eventually, when you get, the more success you get, the more you're able to, you'll be able to start letting people do some of the smaller things, the smaller tasks, But for the time being, sometimes it's okay if you just figure the little things out and do them for yourself, and don't worry about how. Because it took me about a good 90 minutes to actually really figure the whole thing out, but it was well worth it because now I know what to do, and tonight once I sign up, it won't take long at all, And then I got excited because, for me, I have 100 and something episodes that I can upload on the YouTube channel. So we're already ahead of the curve, So people are gonna, more and more people. It's just like this. You'll be amazed how many people will start finding you if you just upload the content and don't think, oh, it's bad, it's terrible, it's this, it's that. No, you're learning, you're growing, you're going to get better, things will get better, and people will find you, people will discover you, people will like you, and then and it's like a party, and then before you know it, more and more people are joining, more and more people are listening. And then before you know it, people are contacting you. People are telling you, hey, I like what you got to say. I like what you're doing. Blah, 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 blah. It's a whole thing, It's a whole process. But it's all right to get frustrated, but don't stop. Don't quit. And don't ever use the words, I can't figure this out. Because you will figure it out. It's just a matter of time. Trust me. I know firsthand, a lot of this stuff, I used to be like, ugh. And some of the stuff, like, just like when I changed the podcast art. Because if you saw it before, it was terrible. Let's be honest with each other. I got a picture for free from somewhere, and then I just uploaded it on the podcast, and I was like, right now, I just need to produce content. I can't worry about all that. So then, moved on, and I said, we are here to stay. We're doing this podcast on a regular basis. Now it's time to change. So we made the change, and we've had a upswing as far as listenership, because now people are like, oh, okay, I see a face. I see a guy, I see a face, I see a person. I think I could connect, So, yes, technology is, different for, like, some people really get into the technology no matter how old they are, and some people, no matter, young or whatever, some people just like, nah, me and technology are not friends. But when you're trying to do stuff online, don't get frustrated, don't get annoyed, don't get upset. Just keep going. You'll figure it out. And then eventually, you won't even have to worry about it. Because you probably can pay somebody for all the little small stuff. All right? So that's that. That's the podcast for today. Remember, Parkinson's law, and don't get frustrated about technology. All right? That being said, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We will be back tomorrow. You know, tomorrow's Friday. I thought today was Thursday. I thought today was like Wednesday. I'm a little behind. Tomorrow's Friday. We will be back with another hard-hitting episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, take care, be blessed, and as always, everybody, peace.